So last night was the Meta Connect for 2025, and we were introduced to four of their eyewear models. Two of which that we already know of, which are the Ray-Ban Metas, but these are the Gen 2s, look exactly the same with a little more features. The Oakley Meta, the HSNs, which we already know of, it's the sport variant. Um, then there was also the new and improved Oakley Meta Vanguards, and then the one that we've been waiting for, the Ray-Ban Meta, or Ray-Ban Display, I should say. They
Yep.
didn't say anything about it being Meta. So, what are your thoughts?
Well, first off, let me mention I love the lineup as it is. I love the lineup. I love the new Ray-Bans alone just for the extended battery life, which we'll get into in a second because you know my feelings on that.
We'll go right down the line in the same way that I explained it when we break it down.
Yeah. So honestly I'm excited about all of them. The HSTNs, you know my feelings on those, but I'm excited.
HSN,
The H is it? Oh, so it's going to be they're getting rid of the HST, the
I
HSTN.
guess T, yeah, it's HSN, unless it's still HSTN, but
Oh,
I'm
all
pretty
right.
sure it's the HSN.
So it's the HSM model. All right, and then the like you said, the Vanguards, which yeah, the Vanguards are going to be for the serious, probably professional sportsmen.
That's what the real Oakley adopters from like back in the day, that's what they were expecting
That's what
with
they
the
wanted.
HSNs.
Yeah, that's what they wanted. And then then obviously the display, which I love it,
Ray-Ban
but
display.
I love those, but I mean, is it going to be worth it for $800? Me personally, right now, I don't think so because I mean, I love them, but the battery life that's the biggest thing. It's only going to have 6 hour battery life they're claiming, and
Which
that's
really is going to translate to like 3 to 4 hours, really.
exactly
Because I
exactly.
mean, it's bad enough the Ray-Ban Metas, the first gen, which is the ones that we have, they say 4 hours, but in reality, if you really use them,
Hmm.
it's going to be an hour and a half at most.
So
Granted,
it
you could charge it in the case for 30 minutes and use them
yeah
again.
yeah.
Um,
So
Anybody that's going to be really using them, that could be an inconvenience.
so the new Oakleys. All right. So the first model was the HST and the Houston or HSTN. What is this new one? Can you look it up real quick? Is it HSN? Is it or is it
HSN, that's what I got.
all right? Because the first
HSN, HSN, and then they also add the fact that it's the sport variant. So I know they say 8 hours or 6 hours for the first set, right? For
is
the
supposed to be 8 hours for the HSTNs.
8 hour. All right. So this one claims to be 8 to 10 hours, and it's sport optimized. I think
Okay.
that may mean that it's gonna have the stabilization in it. But I know that's one thing that the Vanguards have is the
Yeah.
stabilization, which they kind of accented that last night.
Yeah. All right. So I'll tell you this. So as far as the Oakleys, I didn't really look into too much. So I didn't even know. I thought it was the eight. I thought it was going to be the HSTNs, but I'm guessing this is the HS. So basically, you're telling me it's basically a different model. Then it's not going to be like the HSTNs. This is a different model, is what you're saying.
Basically, a different model,
The
but the same body. It's just going to
same
have some
body.
improvements to it.
All right. So because you know my gripe about those, I was actually able to try the HSTNs, and I wasn't crazy about them at all, at all. Period. So
Yeah,
the I told you my biggest things with the Oakley Metas were
I
the
think you're
Oakley
right.
Meta
HSTN. I think it is HSTN. Yeah,
HSTN, right?
yeah.
Okay, so
It's the sport variant, though, they're saying. I don't know. They added that to it. I don't know what that means besides this extra stabilization, but
damn, yeah. My biggest gripe with those was after a while here on the back of by the ears, it's too tight. The arms are too tight on the head. Okay, the battery life on the HSTNs to me, and I ran them through it. It wasn't really. They didn't last that long, and they didn't last that much longer than the regular Ray Bans.
yeah. I
The
remember
first
there
gens.
wasn't really when going back to that video that I had sent you, the guy that had tested them out. the Ray-Ban Metas and the Oakley Metas. There was literally like a 17-minute difference, and he was doing everything identically. He was taking videos at the same time, him and his friend. They were taking videos. All right, record. All right, play music. Use the AI, this and that. They were doing everything side by side. And there was really it ended up being like, and it wasn't even an hour and a half that they lasted, and it was only a 17-minute difference between the Metas and the Oakleys.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, because when I tried them, the 3K video, I think that's a big battery drainer, obviously. So if
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest with you, Ruben. The 1080p to the 3K, to me, when I'm on the phone looking at the video, not there's no
Mm,
difference at all,
yeah, nah.
unless you zoom in on the video. But again,
When
who's
you're
zooming in on
editing, when you're
videos
editing, really,
when
that's
you're
when it
editing?
really comes
Correct.
into play. When you're editing, you need to zoom in in case you got something too far,
Yeah,
recorded
but
something too far, you could zoom in and just it'll still keep that clarity. But on a phone screen, when you're watching the end result, it's gonna end up being the same.
who's sitting there editing these videos? Now you're capturing it, posting it, capturing, posting. I mean,
Yeah,
nobody's really sitting there. I'm at least me, and I used to be a huge video editor back in the day. Ruben, still a video editor. Are you really going to be editing these videos to try to make it the best, or are you going to capture it, live it in the moment, post it as it was, as you saw? I mean, I don't know.
yeah,
Everything to me is more work once you start adding all this extra stuff to it. And
yeah,
again,
yeah. You're right.
who's going to be zooming into these videos? Who's going to be beaming it to a TV? No, everybody's going to be having it on their phone. So again, the 3K video to me, it seemed like that was a major factor in depleting the battery life for the HSTNs, the Oakley Metas. Uh, the audio, they still have to. I mean, I heard a rumor, and somebody was saying that they were trying them out on YouTube. This guy, and he
The
was
new
saying that
one or the old the first gen?
the HSTNs, the one that just dropped in July.
Yeah, yeah,
He's saying that that the speaker sounded better, it was louder, this and that. But was the speaker better? To me, it sounded absolutely the same. The only thing was the major discomfort here, right above the ears, where the
yeah.
where the arms are, and everything else. Honestly, you can do with the first gen Ray Bans. There's really not that much difference.
But I do have to say that they were probably tighter because they're made for, sports. They're made to
Yeah,
be out there playing sports. They want to make sure that they don't fly off your face. If you're swinging a golf club and you sit there and you just hit a haymaker, you don't want the things flying off. So that's probably why that they were a little tighter.
that's a
But
good
on
point.
this new one that was released yesterday, the open air speakers are supposed to be better, and on top of that, there's supposed to be wind noise reduction. So when you're outside recording a video, if you're in a windy place outside, or even if you're riding a bike, and then you know how you normally get that the wind noise,
Mhm.
these are supposed to knock that down.
Okay, okay. So yeah, I mean, and again, the HSTNs were just released in July. Why are they releasing these ones so soon? Why even release the HSTNs in July in the first place? I just don't understand where the market was for that going to this model. Just so that's a little weird to me. That doesn't really make too much sense. It's just the release date is too soon. It's way too
Yeah, it
soon.
was actually pretty soon. I'm surprised about that. I'm so
Yeah.
very surprised that they
Uh,
released them like that. Such drastic I don't want to say drastic improvements, but literally,
yeah.
I mean, the 2 months apart,
Yeah. Yeah. And then
you
I'm gonna
know.
be honest with you, and anybody watching this right now, go try the Oakley HSTNs, the ones that came out in July. Try the Gen 1 Ray-Bans if you so wish, even though I think that that's pretty much not going to be a thing anymore going forward. Actually, I think it is because on the Meta website, they do still offer it. It's a little thing, it's a little link right underneath where the Gen 2s are. You click that and they did drop the price to those. Those now are going for the Gen 1 Ray-Bans now are going for 329 for the base model. And the Gen 2 Ray-Bans are now starting at 379. Just the regular lenses, regular frames, no transitions,
And they have the
379 out the door.
refurbished ones on the site too for the 200s. They're in the 200s, the refurbished
And
ones.
yeah, so you can get the two. Yeah, and
I
that to
just
me,
I
that's a
just saw
great
those
price point.
last night.
Yeah, that's a great price point. And again, you can swap your frames out, your lenses. I personally ordered the Gen 2s last night, so when those come in, I'm gonna pop out my prescription lenses. It's really easy. Just use your thumbs. You don't want to just point it and pop them out. Each
Yeah.
one, place these ones in, and call it a day. And just that's the good thing with it. But I mean, I kind of wish the speakers. We'll see when I get them, but the speakers to me now, that's the next best thing. And I'm not expecting much with the battery life on these Gen 2 Ray Bans, to be honest with you. I mean, what I'm gonna do personally is I'm
So
not gonna be using.
The Gen
Mhm.
2s are supposed to, they're claiming to have 8 hours. So I know that'll really end up, let's say half even, if it really ends up living up to the hype and it's 4 hours. It's still better than
4 hours.
now, you know?
Yeah,
And then the case holds up to 32 hours. And these actually, don't these have the 3K video?
these are gonna have the 3K video, but like
Yeah.
I was just about to tell you right now, me personally, I'm not gonna be using the 3K video. I'm just gonna be using the 1080p because
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
it to me, it's the clarity is literally the same. You can watch any video on YouTube right now where they're doing the comparison between the 1080p and the 3K. They look exactly the same unless you're actually zooming in on the recorded video. Then the
Yeah.
clarity is obviously,
Yeah.
it's better on the 3K. But I mean, what I'll be shooting really is just going to be as is, and I'm pretty sure most people. So,
Two more things to touch on with the Ray-Ban Gen 2s. It's going to have
mhm.
more languages for the live translation. And
Okay.
then it's also going to have conversation focus. Did you see that?
No, what is that now?
So conversation focus. Let's say me and you are like at a game or something, and it's a loud environment, music playing, people screaming. If I'm facing you and talking to you, I'll tell them to turn on conversation focus. I'll say, hey, Meta, turn on conversation focus. The glasses will then see you that you're talking to me, and then automatically in the speakers it'll be your voice basically is what I'm hearing, so it's almost like amplifying your voice through the speakers so I could hear what you're
That's
saying.
cool.
So
That's
that's a pretty
awesome.
cool feature right there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They're also going to have the HSTNs, the sport variant, 122-degree field of vision, so I think it's going to have a little wider field of vision. um the louder speakers, and then also the Strava and the Garmin integration. You familiar
Okay.
with that?
No, go ahead.
So this just basically has real-time metrics, like for sports. Like I was saying, if you're riding a bike, if you're running, whatever it is, with speed, cadence, heart rate, it'll automatically start workouts to record your workouts, so that way you could document it and just keep it for your records. So basically, you know what to improve on the next time you work out. And it also has the auto capture video clips. So when you're hitting like any type of high milestones, like if you're in a bike race or a marathon, and then it senses you're coming up to the finish line, it'll
That's cool.
automatically know and turn on and start recording. That way you don't have to sit there and play with it or anything. And
That's awesome.
yeah, that's a cool feature to have.
That's awesome. So, and you just want to mention this real quick. I mean, it's just like what's going to happen now to the Oakleys. I mean, the ones that just came out in July. It's just going to be weird to see how the sales go for these things. I'm curious. I wish there were
Yeah.
numbers and we could see
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sales
yeah. That would have been
between all
nice
these
to have
different
numbers.
models.
And we already know that they're probably not going to have it, because that's one thing that we were looking at when the Oakleys first came out. We wanted to see what the numbers were, but
Yeah.
there was no way to really tell what the numbers were. Um,
And then you
the
said better
Vanguards,
speakers.
yeah,
Also, you
it's
said the
supposed to
better
have better
speakers.
speakers, louder, better speakers on this version.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. So go ahead. You were about to mention the RoboCop Vanguards.
So listen, I know that they're definitely not like my style. You
No.
know, I mean, I would wear them if I'm driving. You're not gonna see me flexing on those with those out somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm dressed down and I want to pull maybe like a riffraff type move,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe. You know what I mean? That's like
Exactly.
a riffraff type style. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Definitely. Definitely.
10 hours mixed use with fast charging in the case available. It has the performance data, which records heart rate, pace. It has the advanced AI assistant
Yep.
for training, feedback, and post-session summaries. And then this one also has the better audio for the it's actually supposed to have even better audio than the Ray-Ban Metas and the HSTNs, because these are made
Wow.
for like real, like intense loud
Yeah.
environments.
Yeah.
These are definitely like the sport
High
guys,
performance. High
glasses, very
performance.
high performance. These things, between the video that they take, um,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure these are gonna hug the head too, because if it's made for high performance, and you said that the HSTNs were a little tight here, these are gonna have to be if they're made for that, because you could tell that's what they're gearing these towards. Because in the videos
Yeah.
we saw last night, it was guys on the weekend warriors on the race bikes going. It was people, bombing hills with skateboards and longboards and rollerblades and playing
Yeah.
football.
It's gonna be you're gonna see I could see sponsorship, NASCAR, the NASCAR races, horse racing, golf players, bike the those rally bike riders, the motorcycle ones, car circuits. It's gonna be this. I mean, this is really gonna start with the van cards. Now you're taking things to an entirely different level at this point.
Yeah.
So
And like I said, that's not necessarily my style. I know you're not crazy about them. I would probably get them, not for everyday use. Like I said, maybe for driving, because I have the transitions, and in the car they really don't tint that much anyway.
yeah,
Um, but it also gives me hope knowing that it's obvious that eventually the Ray-Ban Metas are gonna get this technology.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's bound to happen, as they progress every year
yeah.
with the new generations.
Yeah. I mean, their meta's definitely hitting on all the different areas of use cases, right? I'm finding it hard to see, okay, the HSTNs to these newer ones now, but again, I think it was too quick. The fact that they dropped these Oakleys, maybe they should have waited at least another year.
Yeah, I
And
think so. I think so.
even
But then again, it might be a software thing too. You know what I mean? It just might be a
true,
software thing that'll come eventually with
true.
updates. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That that
yeah.
that could be also what happens.
So
You know,
before we get to the final selection from Meta, the final
which
offering
by the
from
way,
Meta.
there's actually two more things that they released yesterday, which we could just touch on at the end. But yeah, go ahead.
Uh, okay, just a quick question. Are you going to be ordering the Gen 2 Meta Ray-Bans? What's your
Yeah,
decision?
yeah,
You are. Okay.
yeah,
Because I've already placed my order, so
yeah.
and then yep. So all right, go ahead. So all right, that solves that. So what are the two new offerings? So what are these two
Well,
extra?
no, we got to touch on the Ray-Ban display first,
Okay, so
which we
I'll
already
build on
touched
what
on the
I was
battery life. We're not crazy about the battery life
no,
on these,
no.
because they say 6 hours, but that'll really probably translate to 3 hours.
Yeah, I just can't see myself out in public wearing these things. I can't,
Nah.
especially. I'll tell you the one thing that I do love about the two things that I love about them. Okay, obviously the inside screen, and the screen isn't visible. Like on the Android XRs, on the other Android ones that have, you can see the screen a little bit in the lens. These you
Mm,
won't be able to see the screen at all if you're looking at it from like
yeah.
as another person looking at it. It doesn't matter where you're in sun or inside. I love the screen. Actually, there's three things I love about the Meta displays, the Meta Ray-Ban displays. I love the screen, obviously, on the inside, the clarity of it. I love the wristband. Okay, the I forget the name of it or whatever. I'll just say the wristband to
The
it.
neural the neural wristband.
The neural wristband. So that's two. So the display.
Neural,
Yep,
Neural.
yep. The display that's inside the lens. I love the neural wristband. That whole synergy between using that with the thing, it's unbelievable. It's actually way better than I ever expected, than I would have even thought. If you watch previous videos, you'll see my high, I wasn't expecting much, but this actually exceeded my expectations beyond. And then the
Yeah.
third thing that I love about the Meta Ray Ban displays is the folding collapsible
That's a
case.
huge plus, and that's such a minor part of it, right? Such a small part, but that actually is huge because walking around. I
Insane.
think I got the cases somewhere else. I mean, it's hard to just walk like, always have the case in your hand like that because you can't necessarily put it in your pocket. You can put it in your
Yeah.
pocket, but it's going to be an eyesore. It's going to be sticking out a lot. So that
Yeah.
collapsible case was definitely a home run.
Oh, insane. Absolutely insane. So those are my three things. Again, okay, so the wristband is gonna have an 18-hour battery life. Okay, that's
18
cool.
hour,
But
yeah.
this 18 hour, but again, the 6 hour battery life on the displays, and I don't like that at all because they're saying 6 hours of mixed use. So
Yeah.
we all know what that means. They're gonna be getting, like you said, maybe half if you power using it. I'm not even expecting that. Maybe 3, maybe 4 hours, but I'm expecting
Yeah.
probably around 3 hours. And then just the thickness of them. I
Yeah.
just don't see. It's going to be for me an at-home productivity
Yeah, yeah,
item to
yeah.
use,
Which
and
even
that's
then, I
it.
mean,
So
what are you going to do with those in home? You don't necessarily need to be paying attention to, because listen, it
no,
shows navigation, gives you your messages, you can listen to music, and then it has the camera viewfinder in the lens. So
yeah,
you can see what the camera's seeing when it's recording or taking pictures. If it showed your computer screen on it, then I'd say, all right, perfect for in home. We'll wait for the next gen if they're a little smaller or whatever.
exactly.
If you could see your
Oh,
computer and work on your computer screen on those. But even then,
exactly.
it's not enough to work at home with,
No.
with just navigation, messages, music, and the viewfinder.
Yeah. Or at a minimum, be able to work with your iPhone, right? Emails,
That's true.
messaging, like have that deep integration with
Yeah.
the at least the iPhone, which I'm not expecting, obviously.
I see
If
it
that were to
coming though. I
happen,
could see
okay,
it come.
cool.
Actually, maybe not because Apple's now it's rumored that Apple's starting on their version
Yeah,
of smart AI glasses. So
yeah,
whatever that may be, Apple's gonna make it hard for all these other companies because Apple's gonna want everybody to get the Apple, whatever they're
yeah,
called.
exactly. So I say we got 3 more years, 1 to 3
Yeah,
years for the
that's a good
displays
guess.
to really be at a point where, okay, it might be worth spending almost $1,000 on them. Right now, for me, it's a super hard sell. I don't. It's going to be interesting to see how they play out, but I just don't see them hitting. Almost like the Apple Vision Pro the Apple the Apple Vision came out. I mean, they
Yeah,
were smashed, but then it just slowly faded out. And I think the same thing's going to happen with these displays. What do you think,
yeah.
Rube?
No, yeah, that's definitely a good forecast. I say you pretty much nailed it with that. But like I said, also, once Apple comes out with their version, I
Yeah,
think I don't want to say these are going to be irrelevant, but Apple may just take over that market. You know what I mean? Especially because a
yeah,
lot of people use Apple products. I see
yeah,
this maybe sticking with the Android users, but once Apple comes
yeah.
out with their version, I think that's going
But
to
it,
because, think about it. They're going to integrate everything with the iPhone into the glasses, which is going to make things a lot
yeah.
easier.
But again, Apple, this is kind of off topic here, but with the iPhone 17 being released this week, I mean, where's the innovation? This is
Yeah.
there's absolutely nothing. Like, I didn't get excited about the Apple iPhone 17 at all. So, and look, they don't even have foldable phones yet. So think about how much longer at this point. We'll probably see this type of technology from Apple in 10 years. I wouldn't be surprised. 10 years
Yeah.
minimum. Because
Yeah.
right now it's been almost 10 years with Samsung's foldable phones, and you saw the foldable phone the other day, and that was
Yeah.
gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
but I
I
don't know. To
love that
me, Apple
phone.
needs to step it up. Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful, but again, I mean, what is going on with Apple? There's absolutely nothing that gets me excited anymore at this point. It's just the same recycled thing. So
Yeah.
that seems to be the case. So.
And then the last two things I wanted to touch on that they also mentioned briefly, the VR, AR for Quest,
Yeah,
which
yeah, that's
they're
cool.
improving the battery life. They're going to give it a more accurate room scanning for like
Yeah,
more of like an immersive pass-through experience with those. So that's going to be better enhanced avatars. And like so you could have more lifelike meetings in Horizon Worlds, which you put me
yeah,
onto Horizon Worlds. But everything's supposed to be getting a little more realistic with the Quest. And then
Yeah.
obviously they're expanding the apps on it with fitness, gaming, all types of productivity expansions. You
No,
experienced those, right? And you liked it.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I just
Do
think
you
that
still have it?
as ex- no, 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 no,
No.
no. I got rid of it. I sold it. But what I think they really need to do on they need to really work on AAA gaming for the Quest battery life.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And AAA
What do you
gaming. There's a
mean
lot of
AAA
fantastic
gaming?
like hardcore games like Call of
Oh,
Duty, like
oh,
full
okay, okay.
on.
Oh, but you
I'm talking
kidding
about
me? If
because
I
at
think
this
if they
point,
do that, car racing and all that, I think if they do that, it'll be a wrap.
yeah, they need to be like really solid games. Don't get me wrong. There's some games like Hyper Dash, and there's a couple of other games that are amazing. That's absolutely sick on the Quest.
Yeah,
But as far as graphic wise, even though it's supposed to be 4K, a lot of this stuff isn't 4K. At this
yeah,
point, we need to start bringing it up to 8K at this point because 4K and those is just not cutting it. I'll be honest with you.
yeah,
Yeah, there's just a lot of things within the Quest that it's supposed to be 4K, and there's a lot that's not 4K in it. A lot
yeah.
that's not
That's
4K.
usually always the
So
case though. Like even TVs that they sell
yeah,
4K TVs, ultra 4K. Most movies
yeah,
end up coming out 1080p, maybe 1K,
yeah,
2K, maybe. Very few movies, and
exactly.
especially TV shows, are 4K. You know, you get more
Yeah.
4K on YouTube than you do on actual TV and movies, you know?
No. But yeah, man, I love the Quest. I love the entire lineup for this the MetaConnect 2025. And I'm excited, and I know you're excited, Ruben. I know everybody that's watching this right now is super
Hmm.
excited, but we're cooking right now. Meta is definitely cooking, and things are gonna start getting even crazier from this point forward. So get
Yeah.
ready. Get ready,
And then
people.
the final thing, the personal intelligence with that they're
Okay.
incorporating now. Are you familiar
Uh-huh.
with that?
No, go ahead. Tell me about it. What's the scoop?
So it's gonna be like a straight up companion, like a assistant, a partner in business type thing. Let's just say, for example, me and you have the glasses on, and we're working on a project, and we're on a whiteboard, and we just can't, like, we're missing something. We don't know what it is, but we can't just put our finger on it.
Mm,
We could just literally in real time. In real time, it's not like even thinking. We could look at it and be like, Meta, this is our plan for this vision that we have right here. We're missing something because this is the end game that we see, and it'll just start giving you tips and advice. All right, try this, try that. I see that you didn't include this. Try that, and then that should lead you to this result. You know what I mean? So that
beautiful.
personal super intelligence is, I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be hot. That's gonna make some
That's
superhumans.
gonna be. Yeah, I think at this point, at a very minimum, if Meta continues to refine and further perfect the AI within the entire lineup, that's going to be key right there, man, for everything.
Yeah,
Because that's, I mean, that
yeah,
those AI systems, if you can have one passive like that on your face, ready to do things for you like that, whew, forget it.
yep,
You have the ultimate,
yep,
the ultimate computer ready to do it.
yep.
And whatever you want at that point, and ready to go. So,
Well, we touched on
but
everything, kid. That was a good one.
yeah, yeah, very
So I
good one.
guess
So I'm excited.
that's a wrap, brother.
Yes, it is, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.